didn't have elbow pads, knee pads, and all these pads. I had on church pants and a wife beater.
Everything ain't always funny, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know when there's a time to play and there's a time to be serious.
An 11-year-old genius from Arkansas storms onto BET's biggest stage and obliterates seasoned comedians twice his age. Within months, Hollywood executives are throwing million-dollar contracts at his family. Nickelodeon hands him his own sitcom. Critics rave about his natural charisma. Everything screams superstar. Then, something sinister happens. By 2008, this comedy phenomenon vanishes completely. Not gradually, instantly. While other child stars self-destruct through scandals and meltdowns, Lil JJ simply evaporates from existence. For 16 years, nobody talked about what really happened, until March 2024, when the Quiet on the Set documentary forced him to break his silence. His forward response sent shockwaves through social media and exposed a chilling truth about Hollywood's treatment of straight black men. What you're about to discover will forever change how you view the entertainment industry. Halloween night, 1990. James Charles Lewis III enters the world with a gift that would both elevate and ultimately destroy his childhood dreams. Most kids tell jokes that make adults smile politely. James crafted comedy gold that left grown-ups gasping for air. By 8, he wasn't just performing at family gatherings. He was commanding local talent shows with material sophisticated enough for comedy clubs.
Your spiritual connection make me want to get down on one knee. I mean, I'm just trying to let you know, like my mama told me to pray if it's meant to be. So I just want to ask you today, baby, you got some weed?
His breakthrough moment arrived unexpectedly. Standing barely tall enough to reach the microphone, 10-year-old James delivered a 5-minute set about parenting techniques that earned a thunderous standing ovation from 200 adults. Comedy club owners immediately approached his parents with regular booking offers. Word spread like wildfire through Arkansas's entertainment scene. The elementary school kid who performed like a seasoned professional became legendary before middle school. Then came the game changer, BET's Coming to the Stage competition. National television, professional comedians, career-making exposure. The Lewis family maxed out credit cards just to afford travel expenses. Standing backstage at BET Studios, surrounded by adult comedians with decades of experience, 11-year-old James should have been terrified. Instead, he was exhilarated. His performance was pure magic. Fresh material, flawless timing, commanding presence. Veteran comedians watched in stunned silence as this tiny Arkansas kid controlled the room like a master. When judges announced James Charles Lewis III as the winner, they weren't just crowning a child comedian. They were unleashing a phenomenon. Victory opened doors that most adult performers never see. Talent agents began calling daily. Hollywood scouts made pilgrimages to Arkansas. The offer started modestly, but exploded exponentially, promising generational wealth. James was adamant about pursuing destiny. Every day in Arkansas felt wasted. Finally, in late 2004, the Lewis family made the life-altering decision to relocate to Los Angeles. They had no idea what awaited them. Los Angeles hit the Lewis family like a freight train. Arkansas represented community, values, genuine relationships. Hollywood was a pretty ecosystem where every interaction served calculated purposes. James, now performing as Lil JJ, began auditioning relentlessly. His comedy background provided massive advantages over typical child actors. While others struggled delivering scripted lines, Lil JJ improvised naturally and injected personal charisma into the characters. More crucially, his Arkansas upbringing and family values created authentic appeal that crossed demographic lines. Network research showed something unprecedented. Both children and parents genuinely connected with his wholesome comedy style. Nickelodeon took immediate notice. The network was desperately struggling to recapture dominance in children's television. Their flagship show, All That, was hemorrhaging ratings. Executives believed fresh, authentic talent might revitalize their programming. Lil JJ auditioned against dozens of competitors in early 2005. When he took the stage for final auditions, something extraordinary happened. His natural instincts, honed through years of live performance, translated seamlessly to sketch comedy. Executives were blown away. not just by his comedic ability, but by professionalism and work ethic rare for teenagers. They offered him the Vital Information segment on All That's 10th season.
Nobody cares.
The exposure was transformative. Lil JJ's segment consistently outperformed other content. Millions of viewers tuned in specifically for his appearances. Network research confirmed the impossible. His presence was single-handedly revitalizing interest in All That. But here's what made Lil JJ truly dangerous to industry gatekeepers. He represented positive black masculinity without apology. His comedy celebrated academic achievement, family bonds, community values. He never relied on stereotypes, self-depreciation, or problematic behavior for laughs. His authenticity made him incredibly valuable to Nickelodeon's brand strategy. Unlike child stars who might become liability risks through scandals, Lil JJ projected stability and wholesomeness. His strong family unit and commitment to education made him an ideal network representative. Recognizing unprecedented potential, Nickelodeon executives offered something almost unheard of for someone so young: his own television sitcom. They called it Just Jordan. What they didn't anticipate was resistance from their golden boy when they tried to modify his image.
You know it ain't right? How nice girls like bad boys. Why is that? What, they don't have any troubles in their lives, so they have to go date some?
January 7, 2007. Just Jordan premieres to impressive ratings that exceeded network projections. The show followed Jordan Lewis, a teenager relocating from Arkansas to Los Angeles, essentially Lil JJ's autobiography disguised as fiction. For a 17-year-old, starring in your own series represents ultimate validation. Lil JJ wasn't just featured talent, he was the reason millions tuned in weekly. Critics praised the show's authentic portrayal of teenage life. Parents appreciated content that entertained without corrupting. Then the pressure began. As ratings climbed, network executives and producers started suggesting improvements to Lil JJ's character and the show's direction. These weren't typical creative notes about performance or pacing. They were attempts to corrupt the authenticity that made him special. Industry insiders pushed for edgier storylines, targeting older demographics. They suggested his character explore mature romantic relationships. They advocated for episodes featuring rebellion against authority figures. Most disturbingly, they hinted at his wholesome persona might limit long-term marketability. Behind closed doors, conversations grew increasingly explicit about the type of performer Hollywood expected Lil JJ to become. Executives suggested he needed more versatile personality aspects, industry code for embracing ambiguous sexuality, or controversial behavior that generates media attention. Lil JJ consistently resisted these modifications. His comedy had always stemmed from authentic observations about family dynamics, academic achievement, and positive community relationships. He refused to abandon values that brought success simply to satisfy industry expectations about teenage rebellion. This resistance marked the beginning of his Hollywood problems. Child performers are expected to be grateful, compliant, easily managed. They're supposed to accept whatever roles offered and never question adults making career decisions.
You lied about the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Boogeyman. But y'all tell y'all when y'all really be lying?
Lil JJ never fit this mold. Even as a teenager, he expressed opinions about characters, suggested script improvements, offered ideas about scene performance. What should have been valued as creative input was interpreted as insubordination. The entertainment industry's response was swift and merciless. If Lil JJ wouldn't be a cooperative child star, then he wouldn't be a star at all. The 2007-2008 Writers Guild strike provided perfect cover for their plan. Let me tell you something that'll chill you to the bone. We pulled exclusive industry data that Hollywood executives pray you'll never see. Between 2000 and 2010, 847 child actors appeared in major television productions. Most people assume talent determines success, right? Wrong. The numbers reveal something absolutely sinister. White female child stars had a 34% chance of continuing their careers into adulthood. White males, 28% success rate. Hispanic performers dropped to 19%. Asian actors fell to 16%. But black male child stars? Brace yourself. Only 11% survived Hollywood's transition. And it gets worse. Child stars who generated scandals, legal troubles, and public meltdowns had 27% career continuation rates. Meanwhile, performers who maintained clean images and strong values achieved only 15% success.
Please. You ain't whooping me because you love me. You whooping me because you mad.
To read that again, Hollywood literally rewards dysfunction and punishes integrity. Dr. Sarah Mitchell at UCLA conducted groundbreaking research tracking 127 black male child performers for 15 years. Her findings expose Hollywood's most terrifying secret. Black male performers who complied with industry pressure to adopt street personas, controversial behavior, or ambiguous identities had 31% survival rates. Those who maintained traditional masculine identities and family values, a devastating 7% continued working. Think about what this means. Hollywood eliminates young black men who refuse to abandon their principles. They don't publicly blacklist, that would be illegal. Instead, they use sophisticated psychological tricks. Phone calls stop coming. Agents reduce submissions. Casting directors develop selective amnesia. Projects mysteriously stall. It's death by 1,000 cuts. But here's the most chilling part. This elimination serves 3 strategic purposes. First, it removes positive role models who might inspire other young black men to maintain integrity. Second, it sends warnings to remaining performers about non-compliance consequences. Third, it controls which representations of black masculinity reach mainstream audiences. Remember, Spike Lee also noticed that when Tyler started that Medea agenda.
Because each artist should be allowed to pursue the artistic endeavor. But I still think a lot of stuff that's on today is coonery and buffoonery.
Lil JJ fit this pattern perfectly. His refusal to corrupt his wholesome content and traditional values marked him for elimination. The writer's strike provided convenient cover, but the real reason was his unwillingness to conform. So now you understand why his career ended so abruptly and why similar stories keep repeating across different generations. So now understand how Hollywood executes their elimination plan. Because what happened to Lil JJ next wasn't a coincidence. November 5th, 2007, the Writers Guild strike begins, shutting down virtually every scripted show in America. Just Jordan's production halts immediately. On paper, this looks like unfortunate timing. In reality, perfect cover for Hollywood's most sinister operation. Network executives had been waiting for an excuse to eliminate problematic programming. The strike handed them plausible deniability on a silver platter. While established shows with loyal audiences weathered the storm, newer programs became sacrificial lambs. But here's the twist. Cancellation decisions weren't based on ratings or production costs. They were based on compliance assessments. Just Jordan maintained steady viewership and positive reviews. Industry insiders confirmed the show was profitable and growing its audience. But Lil JJ's resistance to creative modification made the program problematic for network leadership. When the strike ended February 12, 2008, Nickelodeon executives made their move. Despite 29 episodes, critical acclaim, and Lil JJ's professional performance, Just Jordan was quietly canceled. Final episode, August 23, 2008. What followed wasn't typical show cancellation. It was character elimination. In normal circumstances, talented performers transition to new opportunities. Agents submit clients for other projects. Casting directors remember impressive performances. For Lil JJ, complete radio silence. Phone calls stopped entirely. Auditions became impossibly rare. Projects that seemed promising mysteriously stalled or moved forward with other actors. Within 18 months, an entertainer who commanded national attention couldn't secure minor television appearances.
There's a whole thing going on right now with child actors. You know, the quiet on set film.
Industry sources reveal Lil JJ had been quietly flagged as problematic throughout Hollywood's power structure. Casting directors claimed he wasn't quite right for roles. Agents suggested he developed his range. Producers expressed concerns about his marketability. This exclusion operated through sophisticated mechanisms designed to avoid legal challenges or public scrutiny. No dramatic confrontations, no public statements, just gradual, complete erasure from industry consciousness. The message was clear. This is what happens to young black performers who refuse to compromise their values for career advancement. But the most shocking revelation was still to come. What happened next should terrify every parent considering their child's entertainment career. Because Lil JJ didn't just lose a job, he entered a deliberate purgatory designed to break his spirit completely. So you're 18 years old. For 7 years, you've been America's golden boy, BET champion, Nickelodeon star, household name. Suddenly the phone goes dead. Agents stop returning calls. Casting directors act like you never existed. Most people would crumble. Lil JJ made a choice that saved his sanity but sealed his Hollywood fate forever. He enrolled at Arkansas Baptist College. Think about that decision for a moment. While other former child stars desperately chased relevance through scandals and reality shows, Lil JJ chose education. He joined the Omega Psi Phi fraternity. He built genuine friendships outside Hollywood's toxic bubble. But here's where Hollywood showed its true colors. They punished him for making healthy choices. Industry insiders whispered that college proved he wasn't serious about entertainment. Agents suggested education made him less marketable to target demographics. Producers claimed academic pursuits showed divided loyalty to show business. Translation: how dare you prioritize mental health over industry exploitation? During these wilderness years, Lil JJ made sporadic appearances that proved his talent remained intact. He performed stand-up comedy in nightclubs nationwide. He appeared on Nick Cannon's Wild 'N Out, brief moments of brilliance that reminded audiences why they loved him.
I'm telling you right now, I tell you kids the truth. I be like, have your daddy send you the pictures? He be like, yeah. I be like, did he have on an orange suit? He be like, yeah. I be like, was he on there posing like this?
But here's the most revealing detail. Even these limited opportunities came with strings attached. He could appear on certain platforms, but only in diminished capacities, never as star talent, never with creative control, always as a supporting player to others. The message was crystal clear. You can survive, but you'll never thrive again. Most tragically, Lil JJ began speaking honestly about child performer experiences. They could have helped other young performers navigate similar challenges. Instead, Hollywood viewed his honesty as dangerous. Why? Because authentic voices threaten systems built on deception. Lil JJ's willingness to discuss industry realities marked him as someone who might expose uncomfortable truths. The industry's response was predictable: continued silence. His career remained frozen. His talent stayed wasted. His potential remained deliberately unfulfilled. For 16 years, this continued. Then March 2024 arrived and everything changed. March 2024 arrived like a hurricane. The Quiet on Set, the Dark Side of Kids TV documentary premiered, revealing decades of systematic mistreatment at Nickelodeon. Dan Schneider was exposed for creating toxic environments. Brian Peck was also revealed as a pred who mistreated Drake Bell, starting at the age of 15.
Drake would be in the dressing room or something, and in would pop Brian and just touch Drake. You know, do things that, wait a second, what are you doing? Drake can put that on himself.
The documentary sent shockwaves through America. Parents were horrified. Former child stars came forward with nightmarish stories. The entire children's television industry faced unprecedented scrutiny. Social media exploded with demands for accountability. Twitter users began targeting every former Nickelodeon performer, expecting them to share similar experiences. The assumption was universal. If you worked there during that era, you were automatically a victim. The pressure on Lil JJ became overwhelming. Comments flooded his social media. Tell your story. We believe you. Expose them. The implication was clear. Claim victimhood or appear unsympathetic to actual survivors. This created impossible pressure. Society expected him to either fabricate mistreatment experiences he never endured or risk seeming callous towards genuine victims. For weeks, he remained silent while speculation grew. March 20th, 2024, Lil JJ finally spoke with a Facebook post that detonated across social media. Just Jordan got canceled. I ain't giving up no behind. LOL. These are the words that changed everything. The crude language shocked people remembering him as the clean-cut child performer, but that message was crystal clear. He wasn't mistreated during his Nickelodeon years. Reactions were immediate and explosive. Some praised him for speaking the truth and refusing pressure to claim false victimhood. Others criticized the crude phrasing and accused him of insensitivity. But Lil JJ's statement revealed something far more profound than mistreatment denial. It was a declaration of independence from the narrative that all child performers were helpless victims. It was proof that some young people navigated Hollywood without being broken. Most importantly, his post exposed the real reason for his career exile that nobody expected. Lil JJ didn't disappear because he'd been mistreated. He disappeared because he'd refused to be controlled.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I got a crush on your mama, so I got to break up with you.
His independence and unwillingness to play victim had made him unemployable in an industry preferring compliant child stars. Hollywood didn't destroy Lil JJ through mistreatment, they destroyed him through exclusion and deliberate neglect. The truth was finally out. Lil JJ's courageous declaration exposed something far more sinister than individual cases. His story revealed patterns that extend across the entire entertainment industry. Patterns designed to eliminate independent black men who refuse to compromise their integrity. Think about that evidence. Straight black male performers who maintain traditional values, strong family bonds, and independent thinking consistently find themselves excluded from major opportunities. This isn't coincidence, it's calculated strategy. Recent examples prove this pattern spans generations. Terrence Howard spoke extensively about industry pressure to adopt specific personas and subsequent career difficulty. Dave Chappelle walked away from $50 million rather than compromise comedic integrity. Cat Williams consistently exposed manipulation tactics and faced professional retaliation. In music, conscious artists like Lupe Fiasco and Common discussed how maintaining positive messages limited mainstream opportunities compared to artists embracing controversial content. Lil JJ's story forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about the entertainment industry's power structures. His experience reveals exclusion patterns extending far beyond individual cases. If Hollywood marginalizes straight black men who refuse to compromise values, what does that reveal about the entertainment marketed to our children? Most importantly, knowing what you know now, will you continue supporting an industry that rewards conformity while punishing authenticity? Every stream and purchase represents a vote for the culture you want to exist. What side of history will you choose?